What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed Drummond coming at you on this 30th day of September 2022. Happy birthday to my son Parker. He is 16 years old today. He is going to be out there driving soon enough, and we're looking forward to it. It's exciting, fun. I vaguely remember being 16 in the past, but yeah, it keeps me proud. But hey, wanted to reach out and let you know what we're seeing this week in the market. And honestly, like this week, it's kind of, I'm going to shoot a little bit from the hip because it was more of a week of uncertainty than I've seen so far this year. One day in particular, I had 4 calls in a row. It was 2 text messages, so not all calls. 2 calls, 2 text messages, all of them from others in the industry, not just real estate, but commercial real estate, title partner, lender, and another broker. I was talking through what's happening in the market and what people are seeing. Right now, more than anything, it's super important for us, of course, to be paying attention to the data, but oftentimes the data lags. The data doesn't show what's really happening in the moment. This week I had honestly a couple of interesting scares of what the market was doing. With interest rates jumping to 7 last week, it really changed a lot for people. I spoke to our great person over at Fidelity, Sam. She let me know that what they're seeing and the types of cancellations that are happening right now in the market, which was interesting. From our side of things, from the buyer side, things are really, really, really slow. And when you look at what it takes for somebody to buy a property right now with a 7% interest rate, it's pretty daunting. Like, I ain't gonna lie. When we're pricing these properties and we're looking at what's happening, the value at 7% is just entirely different than almost anything I've ever seen in our while I've been in the industry. And again, more than likely it's going to come down, but right now, as of this week, it was very high, and that priced a lot of people out of the market immediately. The other interesting piece from a mortgage side of things is second home loans and investment loans. Almost all of them now require points just to get to a par rate, meaning that there is no interest rate that is set for those that you don't have to then pay for to get a decent rate, right? So you're paying just to get the mortgages on those things right now, which is insane. Like, it's an interesting place to be. Therefore, who is the buyer right now? Who is still buying? There are people that are still buying. And, at the end of the day, I talk about it all the time when I'm talking about investing. It's like, always be buying, always be buying. There are some creative strategies that are happening right now to still be able to acquire properties, to keep them. First-time home buyers, it's a tough market. It's probably not the best market for them to be risking that and not being able to, maybe refinance like somebody that's putting 20% down and already going into it with a lot of cash. Investors that are buying these properties as seconds, as investment properties, using them in ways that the opportunity cost of that purchase is more important than just the quick dollar value, right? Buying a second home in Scottsdale, if you're coming here for Super Bowl and you're going to be able to come and stay once a quarter or something, may make more sense than renting a hotel or an Airbnb when you see the prices of these hotels and Airbnbs that they've been these last couple of years. So that's where I think the market still makes sense for people. From a sales side of things, things are very, very, very slow. We haven't seen it slow like this for a while. And it being slow like that doesn't mean that the sky is falling at all. We definitely needed a correction. We were all ready for it. We've been talking about this for a while, right? We knew it was coming. But to see interest rates creep up as high as they have is definitely a piece of the equation that I don't know how many people thought we would get to that place where interest rates are at 7. Like, that's just different. It changes the whole model. So looking at the pieces, figuring out whether things should happen. What are the things you could do right now to change your outcome in what's happening. First and foremost, if you're renting your property, move it fast. Also, don't spend a bunch of money on rehabbing, like taking it to the next level as much as we were 6 months ago. Put what you have to get in to make the place sparkle, make it livable, but don't push the value like these others are on their rentals. Rental prices are starting to taper off. We're starting to see things come down because we're getting so many more on the market. Now, from the good news side of things, I hate to say good news, but from the builders side of things, the builders' new starts did slow down here in this last month. They're super worried about what's happening with the market. Compared to last time, when this happened in the market last time, they just kept building and building for 2 more years after we saw the recession coming, after we saw this stuff happening. They kept building for another couple of years. This time, everybody, like all the builders have slowed down their production again, except for apartment builders, right? Those that are building multifamily. They're still running and gunning and building a lot, which says a lot about what's to come here in the next 1.5 to 2 years by way of multifamily in the Phoenix area. We definitely still need more houses, which is, understandable. What do those look like? Who knows? How is that going to affect your rental properties? Realistically, Phoenix is still jamming. The economy here is still booming. There's still tons of jobs here. It's still hard to find people, right? But at the same time, there's going to be so many more houses on the market. What does that look like? It's hard not to see that, we should be able to keep these levels on rents for a while, right? And know that there's probably not going to be much more upside potential in how much more in rents we're going to be able to get out of these properties, at least for the immediate future. Let's see. Other than that, right now, it was, again, an amazing week. Foreclosures are not on a crazy rise yet. However, who knows what that's going to look like for those that got into interesting mortgages. This week, I also talked to somebody who was telling me about some financing. They were thinking about buying an investment property and getting into some very creative interest-only financing. I'm very conservative. I thought that was a horrible idea. First-time investor, I got an opinion about these things, right? I've made the mistakes. But from that side of things, it was like, man, investment only, buying an investment, like interest only on an investment property right now in this market, unless you're really hedging that, you're buying at a certain price point, you're paying interest, it's cash flowing, it's making you enough money to really look attractive. If it doesn't pencil out, it doesn't pencil out, right? The smell test for sure. Thanks for watching this week. I'm super eager to see what next week brings. I'm hoping that interest rates dip a little bit more. That would spark buyers to get back out there and realize that, again, this isn't the market to still keep buying. But yeah, let's see what happens. In our space for where we sit, we're in a very good place because, again, we've got management, we've got sales, we kind of cover both sides of that. So either way, we're in a place that, unfortunately, a lot of other brokerages are in an interesting space right now. So appreciate you watching. If you have questions, feel free to hit me up. Again, I love any questions that you have that might be able to lead to other interesting things. And next week, actually, I'm going to be sitting down with a good financial planner. He's a trust attorney. He's going to be sitting down and asking me I'm going to be asking him some questions, specifically when you all have properties that involve some sort of trust issues, family trust issues, legal issues, anything to do with wills, trust, that type of thing. I'm going to ask him some of those. So if you have questions that you'd like me to ask, please forward those on to me and I'll make sure they get included. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Look forward to connecting again.